Great River Regional Library. Hello, guys. Hello, everyone. My name is Jen. We are at my home studio in Paynesville, and I'm so excited to be with you and to teach you a bit about macrame. That's what we're going to be learning about today. So these workshops, these kits that you've picked up at your local libraries are funded with Minnesota's Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. So I have been working with libraries for about 10 years through this, and it brings art and cultural heritage into Minnesota libraries. So it's a tiny portion of taxpayer dollars that go back to fund the arts, and it's a wonderful thing. So I'm so happy to be with you, Great River Regional Library folks. So let us begin by talking a little bit about macrame. So you have your kit in front of you, and with your kit, we are going to learn the basic 3 knots of macrame. So macrame is simply a series of knots that create a piece of art. So you'll see in back of me a couple of my projects. And today we are going to be making a zipper pull with your macrame kit. So something that you can put on a bag or a backpack or your keychain to enjoy. So with that, let's just get right into it and go over what's in your kit. So I'm going to be showing you a little bit bigger project of exactly what you're going to make, just so you can see it easier. And so in your kit, you have instructions and a photo of what you're going to be working on. And then you have a zipper pull. So this is what we are going to be putting our cording on, okay, on this area right here. Okay. And then you have your cording. So we are using 100% cotton cording. So if you are looking for this, I buy my cording most of the time from Amazon. So I just put in the search 100% cotton macrame cording. And then what you're going to be using today is 3mm cording. And then some people have all of the 4 pieces of cording that you have are 3mm. And then the 2 pieces of cording, if it's a little bit bigger, it's 4mm. And then some of you guys have the same size, all 3mm. So just to give you an idea, if you are wanting to go and purchase some of this, it's nice to know. So if you're going to be doing a really small project, like I do necklaces, and then I use more like 2mm, even 1mm cording for small projects, but the cording goes up to really thick. I've gotten it up to maybe 5mm, 6mm, and typically I use 4 for like bigger wall hangings and such. So so that's a little bit about cording. The 100% cotton really gives it a different, more like bohemian look than the 1970s macrame projects, right? Where they use nylon cording, they use jute, and so this is a very different look than that. Kind of the modern twist on traditional macrame. Okay, so, all right, well, you're going to, you have a package of cording like this, and so you're just going to want to unknot it, and then we're going to start. So we're going to start by working with your 4 pieces of the same color of cording, okay? Those go in the middle, and then your 2 other colors pieces go on each end. All right, so this first knot that I am teaching you is called the lark's head knot, and it is the way that you attach your cording to your project, to your holder. So in this case, you're going to be attaching them to this. In my case, to show you, I am going to be attaching it to this little wooden dowel. Okay, so when you begin, I'm going to kind of lower this so you can just see my hands working on this project for a bit, okay? There. Okay, so every time you put, when you get a piece of cord, you're going to want to double it up. So you're going to have a loop at the top, and then at the bottom, you're going to want to make sure that your two pieces of cording are match, okay? All right, so loop at the top, and then you're going to want to put your cording on the top, okay? And then, so if you're working, you guys are working with your zipper pull, you're going to want to be putting it right on the top of the bottom of the D-ring, okay? And then you want your loop to go on the top over, and then it's going to wrap around here, and it's going to grab those two strands and pull them through. Okay, now you want to kind of do this gently, and so that stays, so you have the two same strands at the bottom. Okay, so they're even, and then you're going to want to pull this through. So this is how you want this to look. All right, and that is your lark's head knot. All right, so we are going to be doing this 3 more times with your one color, okay? So let's do that. Okay, looking good. All right, so now you guys, we are going to want to take your 2 other colors, okay, your 2 other pieces of cord, and then we're going to put them one on each side. All right, so let's work on that. Okay, this is how yours should look now. So you should have the one color on each end and your 4 centers together. All right, so you guys, when you get this, your lark's head knots, so all pieces of cording on your zipper pull, then I want you to either use a clipboard to clip it down like this, like I'm gonna do, or what else I use a lot of times, which might be more readily available for you guys, is tape. So just tape it down. You need to create resistance when you're making knots, so it makes it a lot easier. So tape down your zipper pull or put it in clipboard, and then we will be ready to go with our next knot, okay? Okay guys, so let's talk a little bit about our next knot, which is the square knot. So the square knot, here's what you're making, right? Here's the picture that you have on the front of your instructions. So we are going to work on this little knot that is, so here you can see here is your lark's head knot. So this is how you attach. So we're done with this part, okay? And then next we're gonna work on this, this, and this. So we're gonna do 3 square knots, okay? All right. So let's talk about those a little bit. Square knots use 4 pieces of cording, 4 strands. So in your center here, we're going to be using the color in the center, all right? So we're going to be using these 4, and then we're going to be making 1 square knot here, and we're going to be moving over, and we're going to be making another square knot here, and then we're going to be dropping down in the center and making 1 square knot in the middle. okay? So let me show you how that works. I'm gonna tip it down for you. So whenever I am working on a knot, I get rid of all the other strands so it doesn't get confusing. So we're gonna work on these 4. Now when you're doing a square knot, your center 2 pieces of cording do nothing. They are called filler cords and they just sit there, okay? Now we're gonna be working with the strand on the left and the piece on the right. So I always start on my right. You always wanna start this, you always wanna do it the same way, okay? So I'm gonna start on my right and I'm gonna move over to my left. That's half of your square knot. And then you're gonna start with your left and go over to your right, and then you have a complete square knot, okay? So you are going to go under those filler cords and over this cord, and then with this cord on the other side, you're going to go over the filler cords and through the loop, like so. Okay, now we're going to tighten it up all the way to our lark's head knot. Now come at it from the other side. Now, people often ask me, should I be doing this tight? Should I be doing it loose? It doesn't matter. You can do it either way. You want to be consistent with how you're knotting it. So if you're going to do them tight, then do them all tight. If you're gonna do them loose, do them all loose. I find that if you do them really tight, you kind of lose the effect of the knot. And so I do them a little looser. Okay, so then you're gonna come at it from the other side. So this side, I'm now going to do the same thing. I'm going to go under my 2 filler cords and over this one, and then with this side I'm going to go over and through. There you go. This is what we want this to look like. All right? So what I tell myself is, a lot of the time is, when I'm making these, is under, over, over, through, okay? Under, over, through. So let me say it, do that again this time, and let me show you how this works. Under, over, over, through. Under, over, through. Now we're going to be doing it again from the opposite side. Under, over, through. Pull it up. All right. 2 square knots done. All right. The next thing we want to do is we want to drop down a row, and we want to make a square knot in the middle of these 2. Okay, so we are going to need 4 pieces of cording. So we're going to get rid of our other ones. And we're going to use the 4 middle pieces of cording for this one. All right, guys, nice work on that. So you have the square knot down now, right? All right. So we are going to be moving on, and we are going to be doing the third knot that I'm going to teach you, and that is called the half hitch. So the half hitch is this little fun knot which really creates definition on any of the work that you're doing. So like in the back here, this is a half hitch. Okay. This is little smaller half hitches. This is really tiny cording. All right, so this is mainly the half hitch. So yes, that is a very fun, I've done a project, I did a really fun, huge project in my entryway that's just half hitch. So it's just kind of meandering half hitch. So you can do half hitch anywhere, any way. Let me teach you how to do that. So the half hitch, we're going to be using our cords on either side. And they are just going to be filler cord, just like you had the filler cord for your square knots. So these are going to be filler cord, and then the cream ones, in my case, are going to wrap around them. So when you're doing, we are going to do, for our project, we are going to do a half hitch down here and a half hitch down here. So you'll be doing those separately, okay? Let me show you again this. Okay, we're going to be doing this, and we're going to be doing this, all right? Okay, so with the half hitch, you always lay your filler cords on top of your project, all right? So we're going to be working on this half because we're making that V. Okay, down here. So I'm going to get rid of my other cords, and I am going to lay this where I want it to be, okay? Now we are going to take each cord and we're going to wrap it around twice. So what I want to do is I want to take my first cord and I want to just wrap it around here, and it is going to go up high like this. So when you're wrapping this around, this is going to the left of itself, okay? If you were to wind it to the right of itself, it wouldn't stay. So this is catching it, the underneath part of that cord is catching it. So if you were doing it wrong, like I said, it wouldn't hold anything. So you're gonna know that, all right? But you're going to, on this side, you're going to be moving it, it's gonna be to the left. And then the second time that you knot it, that you wind it around this, it is going to knot it off, okay? So in this instance, it is just going through its own loop, okay? And then you're going to pull that tight. All right, see right there how it's knotting off, okay? All right, I am going to do this the rest of the way. So now in this instant, here's my second one. I am going to be going right in there, right to the left of it, of itself, okay? You want to make sure that this is roundy and is looking like this, right? This knot, you can pull too tight, and if you do that, you're actually doing the right knot, but you're just pulling it so tight that you don't get this roundy look, okay? So you don't want to pull this very tight. You just kind of want to lay it on top. Now you can move this. If you want it to be up higher, you can move it up higher. And if you want it down, you can move it a little bit down. All of these knots are kind of, you can put them where you want them to be, okay? Now I will do the other side. So this goes down to the center, and then now I'll move this over and we can do the other side. Okay guys, the other thing I just want to mention about the half hitch is that you want to make sure that the first time that you're knotting around the filler cord, you want to make sure that it's setting where you want it to be. So sometimes if you don't pull it up tight enough, like right here, we want it to lay right beyond our square knots. So if you don't pull it up tight enough to the square knot on your first time around, then it's not gonna go right. So you have to make sure that it's setting tight to this, okay, on your first round. All right, you guys, those are the 3 basic macrame knots, all right? So from here, we are just going to work more on them. So you could make exactly the project that you want to make. So this is what I made, and I gave you enough cording so that you can create this project, all right? So we've done the 3 square knots, we've done the half hitch, and we've attached it with the lark's head. So now what I'm doing on this project is I am doing more square knots, a half hitch this way, and then you even can do more square knots within that half hitch, in that V, okay? So I will go over that, but if you want to be done, like let's say you like this and you want to be done now, all you would need to do, okay, is cut off your cording where you want it to be, all right? You want to end it. This would be super cute ended. You could do a square knot here with these grays. That would kind of make these come together more. And then you can just cut it off, and then you can unwind the threads how you want them to be. So a lot of times on the bottom of my projects, I will fray them out. So I'll unwind them totally, and then I'll brush them out with a comb or a brush, all right? So that is cute. Then you can also cut it off the way you want. So I cut that one off here. This one I just cut straight across and frayed it. I think it's also cute, like on this one, I didn't fray them all out sometimes on them, so you can leave some of them twisted and some of them frayed out. You could leave them all just cording. You can do whatever you want. That's the creative part of this project, right? So if you want to continue just working on your macrame, you can then do this part, this whole diamond in the center. So if you want to do this whole diamond in the center, let me show you how that's done, all right? I'm going to speed things up, and I will be doing this middle part next. So what you're going to do is you're going to do 1 knot in the middle of your first row, then you're going to go down, and you're going to do 2, then you're going to go down, and you're going to do 3, then you're going to do 2, and then you're going to do 1 at the bottom, all right? Let me show you. All right, I did it. You can probably notice that my project is my cords are getting short. So next off, I am going to cut off the excess. So I think I'll just trim it here. And then these guys are already, when you're working on it, they tend to fray out a little bit. So these are frayed out. I'm just gonna fray it out more. You'll be all set. You'll be all set. All right, you guys, I'm so excited. You just learned macrame. Are you excited? Do you love it? One thing I wanted to tell you is if you want to incorporate this and make a project of your own, go and get some cording, go and get a wooden dowel like I used for this. All you need to do is pick up some of those. They have them at craft stores, at Walmart. If you want to do a project that's this long, okay, you would want to multiply that by 3 when you're getting the length of your cord, okay? So if you're going to do it 1 foot long, you're going to want to cut off 3 foot lengths of cording, all right? That's about how much you need to do your completed project. So that's good to know. I hope you had a great time. I had a great time being with you. One thing I wanted to let you know is the library likes to take surveys to see how you like the program, what else you would like to see, that kind of thing. So they have sent you that in an email, I believe. Please take the time to fill that survey out. And I hope you have a wonderful spring and summer, and do keep creating. Bye.